spreading out so much. Make sure my ringer's off. Okay, so let's open the feet up a little wider than normal and just go to like your hip distance. So just a couple of inches between your feet and come up to the top of the mat. So you're standing at the top with a little space between your feet. And then go ahead and reach your arms way up high to the sky. We're going to make our own sunshine. Hook your thumbs together and hook them so much that when you pull on them, you feel them like pulling apart. And then spread your fingers really, really big. That's really good. That's it. So now I want you to notice how you're standing in your feet. And I want you to put a little bit more weight into your left leg and start lifting your right leg up. Just keep reaching for the sky. Push out through that right heel. That's really good. And then shift it to the other side. So we lean heavy into the right leg. You start lifting the left one. Push out through the left heel. Keep reaching high to the sky. And then put that foot back down. Go ahead and open your arms up wide. Clasp your hands together behind your back. Inhale, look up, lift your chest. Take a nice big deep breath in. And an open mouth, exhale. One more time, deep, deep breath in. And then fold forward as you exhale. Start stretching your arms away from your back and your head down toward your toes. Feel the weight in your feet. See if you can put a little more weight in your heels and just feel what that feels like. And then shift a little bit of weight into your toes and see what that feels like. And then see if you can make that even. All 10 toes press down. The heels feel really grounded. Now bend your knees and release your hands. And start to roll up slowly. Belly to the spine, chin tucked down. Really feel what's going on in your body. That's it. Inhale, your arms reach again. And then this time, take the right arm and drop it down by your side. Try to walk your fingers a little bit towards your knee, and then stretch even higher to the sky through the left side body. That's it. Keep looking up at your fingers. Stretch like you mean it. How tall and long can you get on that left side? Take one more breath here, and then on the exhale, let that left arm down. Inhale, both arms reach. Your body's starting to wake up. And then do the other side. So we drop the left arm, walk the fingers a little toward the knee, and then reach up high to the sky. Keep lengthening through that right side. Breath steady. Look up at your fingers. Inhale. And then as you exhale, bring that down. That's so good. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. Let's step back into plank. Plank pose is just the upper push-up position. Keep your eyes toward the front edge of the mat. Make sure you're breathing. Go ahead and unplug your right toes from the mat and just lift your leg up. See how important it is to keep the right leg active. Don't let it get heavy behind you. Make it fierce. And then put your toes down and lift the left one. The knee is straight, the heel is pushing back, the chest is lengthening forward, and the eyes are by the front edge of the mat. Try not to let your hips get heavy here. Stay buoyant. Put your left toes down, and then lift your hips as high as you can and take your first downward facing dog. See if you can experience some of that side body lengthening like we did in the warm-ups. Press through your feet, lift through your hips, and just awaken what's going on in the side body. So resist the temptation to push your ribs out and down. Instead, pull the ribs in and lengthen through the side waist. There you go. Take one more breath right there. And then come forward into plank. Bend your elbows and lower down slowly. Come all the way down onto the belly. Release your toes back. We're going to do cobra 3 times. So each one a little bigger than the one before. Inhale, lift your heart, pull the elbows back, and then exhale, release it. Just going in easy. Inhale, cobra. Be careful you're not squeezing your glutes. Pay more attention to lengthening your legs. And release. Last one, best one. Cobra. And release. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Let's give just a little push through the right hand and the right foot, and a little lift through the right hip. So the left leg doesn't have to do anything. Don't change the left side of the pose. Left side stays down. I just want you to feel the right side awaken. Just what happens if you pay a little more attention to the right side, right? You feel that side of the pose wake up. And then don't think about the right side and put your attention in the left side. What happens there? You push a little, you pull a little. And so no, this amount of action, this amount of attention should be happening in the whole pose at the same time. It's easier for us to split it up. But right now I want you to put it all together. Use both hands, both feet, lift both hips, feel the whole pose awaken. And then look at your hands and start walking the feet right up to the top of the mat. Bring your feet together at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. And then exhale, fold. All right, inhale with a flat back, rise all the way to standing. Head and chest rise up, eyes go up, hands go up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. All right, inhale, arms reach. And exhale, forward fold. We'll try to get in a rhythm with the breath. As you inhale, lift your chest halfway. And then on the exhale, both feet back and lower. Good. Inhale in cobra. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. That's so good. Make sure you light up the pose. I want your whole body to feel alive, and I want you to make sure you're breathing. Breathing into every single cell. Bring the prana right where it's needed. Lift your hips a little higher. And then as you exhale, look forward. Bring your feet to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose, please. It's best if your feet are a little closer together, but your knees don't have to squeeze. And I want you to feel a little bit of hugging sensation on the outer hips. And then just for fun, stick your butt out a little bit more. See if that feels funny on your lower back. And then try and tuck your tailbone under. See if that kind of feels funny. It makes the pose feel kind of locked up. And then find that space like halfway. And then sit down just a little deeper. As you sit, can you reach a little higher? So good. Push into your feet now. Come to standing. Reach for the sky. Maybe even stretch back. And then exhale your hands right to your heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Step the right leg back, stay on your toes. And we're gonna do our first twist of the day. Right hand stays down, left arm opens up. Make sure you're breathing. It's important that you maintain some integrity in the right leg, so don't let the right knee dip toward the mat. And actually, if you could, I'd like you to lift your right hip and drop your left one a little bit. So lift the right side of the pose up a little, and then bend the left knee a little deeper in. Very good work. Last breath. Twist more on the exhalation. And then eyes down, hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. See if you can still feel that sensation of awakening. The back of the legs lengthen, the hips rise, and the breath is flowing free. No matter what we do, no matter what the rhythm of the practice, if we move fast or we move slow, your breath remains the same. I want you to feel the rhythm of your breathing. Take one more really beautiful inhale. And then as you exhale, look forward. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, inhale, and then exhale and fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. I won't keep you as long this time. But you can stick it out a little and then tuck it under and then just find that halfway where it feels just right. And as you sit down, I want you to reach up and then come to standing and bring your hands right to your heart. Nice work. Inhale, arms reach, breathing and moving. Exhale, fold in. Lift and lengthen. Inhale, left leg steps back. I want you to stay on your toes, and then we twist to the right side. So this time the left hand stays down. And right now in this moment, while you shine your heart right out to Federal Highway, I want you to send a little love to those fire rescue people. Love and gratitude for the work they do every day. And then a little blessing for whoever they're going to save. Take one more breath. And then eyes down, hands down. Step into down dog. How grateful we are that that was not for anyone that we know or for any of us. Stuff happens every single day. Life changes in the blink of an eye. Right now, let us just be present. And so grateful that we get to be here and breathe and move. Let's push back just a little. And then look forward, walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. Inhale and lengthen, and then exhale, fold. Go ahead, bend your knees now, chair pose. Give me the best one, third one, best one. And then come to standing, reach high, maybe even stretch back, and then draw your hands right to your heart. That's so good. Inhale, arms reach, we're gonna flow. Exhale, forward fold. Thank you for coming forward. Inhale, halfway up. Go ahead, step back and lower. Inhale, cobra. And as you exhale, down dog. So everybody seems to be getting in the rhythm with the breath, moving beautifully through the vinyasa. You guys starting to feel like you're warming up? I like how some of you are dancing it out. A little Odessa today. This is a recommendation of my daughter. So thank you, Molly Rose. Push back just a little, breathe in, and then exhale, look forward. Bring your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Bend your knees again, one breath only. And then come to standing, reach a little higher this time. And then draw your hands right to your heart. Here we go, Surya B. Inhale, chair. Start with chair pose. And then exhale, fold in. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Step back and lower. Take it down to the belly. Go slow. Inhale, cobra pose, a little back bend. Touch your down dog and come into high crescent lunge. Right foot steps. Stay on your left toes. Let's rise up, facing forward. Inhale as you reach. And then exhale, flow it out. Hands down, step back and lower. Empty those lungs. Inhale big as you take cobra, and then touch down dog and lunge on the other side. Left foot steps. Stay on the right toes. Breathe in. One big, beautiful breath on the way up, and then exhale all the way back down. Keep the belly to the spine as you make your transitions. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, down dog. That's really good. You've got 5 breaths now. Push back just a little bit. Make sure the pose feels as if it is awakening. There is nothing that just kind of dumps down. There is no part of you that goes dormant. Everything awake and present and alive. Feel your legs push back. Inhale. And then look forward. As you exhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Lift on the inhale. Fold deeply, please. Exhale. Bend your knees. Chair pose. Good. Come to standing. Stretch a little, maybe stretch back, and then hands come right to the heart. That was really good. Inhale, arms reach, and exhale, fold in. Lift and lengthen. Right leg is going to step back. Go ahead and step back onto your toes. Rise into that high crescent lunge. I like it. All right. And so sometimes we have a tendency, especially when we come up into the pose from there, to be leaning forward. And as I look around, I see a lot of you leaning a little bit forward. So I'm just asking you to draw your attention to the idea that you could push the left heel down a little and you could move your body back. So I want you to feel some weight on that back leg. And then pivot the back heel flat on the mat and turn open to the right for warrior two. That's it. So I want you to make sure that you have just as much energy in the back side of the pose. Okay. Are you breathing? Most important. Now we're going to draw our attention into one little nuance here, and it's the front hip. I want you to pay attention to your left hip. See if you can encourage your left knee open just a little and your left sit bone under just a little. And then see if you can go in just a little deeper. Very good. Take a breath. And then come on up. Not bad at all. Triangle pose. So left arm goes down. Your legs are going to stay straight. And so the same thing is happening. We're turning the left leg out. And we're trying to bring the left sit bone a little bit under. The whole upper body comes back. Now I want you to bend your right elbow and use your hand to support your neck. So take your hand behind your head or behind your neck and then give me a little sensation of cobra. Like what were you doing in cobra, right? You were really extending your spine. Go ahead, take it back. Beautifully done. And then release your arm up and return to warrior two. Bend that front knee. Remember that nice deep place that you found earlier. That's it. We're going to go in there just a little deeper. I like it. We're just starting to see a little bit of shaking in the leg. Just a little bit. That means that is waking up. Encourage that left knee out toward the pinky toe. Give me one breath only. Reverse the warrior. Just reach up with the left arm. Stretch, inhale. And then like a cartwheel, bring the left hand down, the right hand down. Go ahead, flow it out. Step back and lower. Nice work. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. It's moments like this where we realize how much we love downward facing dog. And so can we light it up? I want you to use those legs. Push back. Take some pressure off the wrist, off the shoulders. Know that if you pull the belly up and in, the pose feels lighter. Take one more breath right where you are. And then look at your hands and start walking those feet forward. When you get there, inhale, lengthen. And then exhale as you fold. Bend your knees, one breath only, chair pose, keeping those legs warm. And then come to standing, reach, stretch back, give your spine a little love. And then hands right to the heart. How you guys doing? Feeling all right? Inhale, arms reach. We're going to go into the other side. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Left leg is going to take that step back. On the inhale, rise for high crescent. Try not to squeeze the midline. Push into the lateral borders of your feet. Feel the width of the pose. And then make sure you're not leaning forward. It's really easy to sit in the crease of the right hip here. So we don't want to sit in the crease. I want you to push into your right heel and lean your body back. Lean your body back. So don't sit in there. Like lift up and out of there. Now pivot the back heel flat and turn open to your left. Warrior two. And you know, based on the other side, this is wisdom and experience that you have now. We're going to be here for a little while. And so we want to line up the bone structure as comfortably as possible so that we have room in the joint. So we're awakening the joint, but we're not aggravating or compressing. So now encourage that right knee a little bit wider and maybe draw the right sit bone a little bit under. If it doesn't go, it's okay, but if it does, aren't you glad you did it? That's it. Sit in there just a little lower. Reach with some fierceness out of your left side. And then straighten the front leg. Happiness. And then triangle pose. Go ahead. Drop the right arm down, the left arm up. Pay attention to the structure. Do you still feel the same kind of work? External rotation in the front leg. So there's no reason to grab your toe. I'd rather have the legs straight and have you be able to lean back a little bit. Left arm is going to bend at the elbow so your hand can support your head or your neck. And then go ahead and give me a little bit of cobra. Just really feel how the spine grows. If you keep that right sit bone under, you can lean back just a little more. Go ahead, open the heart, draw it back, back, back. I'm behind you, so you don't have to be afraid. And then go ahead, left arm goes up, return to warrior two. See if you can touch the same spot and then explore going a little deeper. You guys are doing really well. You all seem to be very, very aware that that right knee could tilt in, and you seem to be working to keep it open wide. So think about from the inseam of the leg, lengthening. That's it. Once you've got into that spot that you really love and appreciate, reverse the warrior for one big, beautiful stretch. Inhale right there, and then exhale, flow it out. Both hands come down. Step it back and lower. Oh, we love the vinyasa. Inhale, cobra, heart open. Exhale, down dog. So give me a really big inhale, just a big, big, big one, and then an open mouth, ah. Like just let out a little bit of tension. Do it again for me, big inhale. Ah. Push back. And then when you're ready, both feet are gonna come forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Chair pose. That's really good. Now bring your hands to your heart and start to bring it down a little lower. Lift your heels from the mat so you come into a little squat. And then I'm going to ask you to open your knees wide. Keep your feet together. You kind of turn your feet a little bit on the mat. See if you can maintain your balance. It's very good. And then begin to fold forward. Let your hands down. Maybe you could even put your forearms down. Keep lengthening and looking forward. Knees press back as the heart reaches forward. And then slowly start to come back up. Bring your knees together. Bring your hands together. And then return to chair pose. Feet flat, arms reach. Hold it right there. And then come to standing and release. Nice work. Inhale, arms go up. Bring your hands right to your heart and shift your weight into your right leg, lifting the left one up. We're going to take the left knee and turn it out and then place the sole of your foot onto the inseam of the standing leg, of the right leg. Try to be above or below your knee. You don't want to push laterally on the joint. And then keep the hands together at the heart. So there's this little action, it's the same. That right sit bone draws a little bit under, and the right knee is encouraged out. Can you feel that? A little bit of work there in that leg. And then explore the space above you. Take the arms up. Nice work. Let's hook our thumbs like we did at the beginning. And we're going to stretch up high through the side waist. Keep grounding down through both of your feet. That's it. Take a little stretch to the left. And then back to center. Take a little stretch to the right. I love your sense of humor. And then bring it back up. Go ahead, bring your hands to your heart. Release that foot down. Let's try the other side. Nice and simple. Open wide. So you're going to lift that right leg up. Place the sole of your foot somewhere on the inseam. It can be above or below the knee. I kind of like this too. If you struggle with balance or you have tightness in your hip, then going to the calf is a great option. Hands come together. And then just that little action. Sit bone goes down and knee is encouraged out. You can feel a little bit of stability coming right from the center. And then explore the space above you. Keep your eyes steady. Hook your thumbs. Hook the other way. Hook the weird way this time. Spread the fingers wide. And then explore your side body. A little stretch to one side, and then a little stretch to the other. Just challenging yourself. Bring it back up. Hands come right down that midline, and then release your foot back down. 2 feet on the ground. Just feel the pleasure in that. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, fold. Come halfway up, inhale. Step back into plank pose. Hold plank for just a moment. That's it. And then we're gonna roll into Vashisthasana. So roll to your right side and you're facing left. I know you guys don't love this, so we're not gonna stay long. One inhale, and then left hand down, pivot and switch over to the other side. Right arm goes up. See if you can get a little more lift out of your hips. And then right hand down and lower. Nice work. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. And then pull yourself back into downward facing dog. I'd like you to walk your hands back to your feet. So this will be the first time that we venture into the back of the mat. That's it. Go ahead and bend your knees about 90 degrees. And then just sweep the arms back behind you. So imagine you're a downhill skier. If you're looking at the space right in front of your toes, I guarantee you're going off a cliff. Like there's just no way you're making it down the mountain. So you've got to lift your chest and lift your gaze forward, and you got to get low. You got to get aerodynamic here, right? We want to bring the hands in a little more lean, right? A little narrower, and make them fierce. Even if bent fingers are going to catch wind, right? So you want to be able to cut your way through high speed. And then lift, not lift, how about lean a little bit into your right leg in case you want to turn a little, right? And then lean your weight the other way in case you want to turn. Yeah, you guys are awesome. And then come back to center. Clasp your hands together behind you. Give me one more lift from the chest. And then fold in deep. Let your head go. That's it. Feel the legs release. Reconnect with the rhythm of your breathing. We're just going to take one more breath here, and then stay folded down as you release your arms toward the floor. I want you to walk forward into plank, and then drop your knees so you're in a tabletop pose. So your hands should be right there under your shoulders, and then I want you to take your right hand and just flip it over so the fingers point back toward the knee, and you get the back of your hand on the mat. Spread your fingers. Feel the pinky and the thumb pressing down. And then just see what it feels like to pull back a little and then lean forward a little. Play with it. How does your wrist feel? So rock a little bit forward and back. And you know exactly how much you can go in each direction. And then go ahead and switch sides. Flip that right hand over. As you lean into the right hand, notice that it feels different. Give a little love to the left one. Rock a little bit, feel the range. Spread out, pinky and thumb to the mat. See if you can open your hand. And then release that left hand too. All right. Go ahead and lift your right arm forward and your left leg back. So there's this little thing that you can do here to make things a little bit better. If you push down, you'll feel yourself have the ability to rise up. There's this integration that happens in the body. So we press down to rise up. The belly pulls into the spine. And I want you to really straighten your arm. I want you to lengthen and reach. And the same thing with your leg behind you. Just lengthen and reach. And now, just for one breath, lift it up higher. And then go ahead, put it down. Nice work, switch sides. Just getting the heart rate back up a little bit. That's it. And so again, that feeling of push down to rise up. When you push down through your left shin and through your right hand, you can actually feel the belly pull in. You can feel your body rise, the bones restructure themselves, and then lengthen. Go a little bit longer with your limbs. Reach like you mean it, and then pick it up just a little higher, and then release and put it down. Take child's pose for one moment. Give your body a little bit of a breather. See if you can get yourself to soften. We're only going to do 2 more breaths here, so enjoy them. And on your next inhale, I want you to come up into downward facing dog. So we press into the hands, we tuck the toes, the hips go way up and back, and it should feel kind of like you're coming home. Awaken and let all of the space that you've been creating in this practice come into this moment. All right, come forward into plank pose. Roll over onto your right side, Vashisthasana. We did it before. Now this time, can you lift your left leg up? Can you bend your left knee and place it in tree pose? Place it on the inseam of the bottom leg. That's it. And then turn that left palm forward and reach the bicep over the ear. Feel the side body. It's just like what we did before. Lift a little. Beautiful, strong and graceful. The arm comes up and then the hand goes down. Step your foot back and lower. Inhale into cobra. And exhale as you take it back into down dog. And know that the first time you try anything, it's not always pretty. That's totally okay. No, it's the first time that you're trying. And so here's your second shot. Come forward, plank pose. Roll over onto your left side. Organize your body. Feel the stability of that bottom leg. And then start lifting the right one away from it. Know that you can separate them. And then bend that right knee. Put the right foot in the left inseam. Somewhere on the calf, on the inner thigh. You can use your hand to put it there. You did it when you stood. And then turn the palm forward. Reach the bicep over the ear. Lift those hips. Stretch like you mean it. Head back just a touch. You guys look amazing. Go ahead, bring your arm back up. Then the hand goes down. Step back and lower. Nicely done. Cobra pose. Inhale. Down dog, like coming home. Exhale. This is a moment to check in, not check out. Reconnect with your breath. If you need to, one big inhale and then an open mouth. All right. Let's walk our hands to the back of the mat. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Arms reach. It's going to feel weird. It's chair pose with the feet apart. And then just come right up to standing. The feet are nice and steady. And then the arms are going to drop down by your sides. Inhale again. Arms reach. And exhale, fold. As you lift and lengthen, I want you to put some weight on your fingertips. And then bend your knees and come into a squat with flat feet at the back of the mat. See if you can do it. Maybe you even widen your stance. That might make it a little bit easier. But let your knees turn out just a little. Let your toes turn out just a little as you sit down in there. Now find the relationship between your elbows and your knees. I want you to push out with your elbows, but at the same time squeeze in with your knees and then lift your bottom an inch or two from the mat. So you can feel that you have some buoyancy there. You can let all of that action go and you can just sit down in the pose. So try that, let it go, like everybody sits down. And then again, just like give a little push-pull with the arms and a lift from your bottom. Right, can you feel that? That makes a big difference. So those are the actions that you're gonna need to do as we approach the next pose. We're gonna feel the push and pull on the arms and we're gonna lift from our bottoms and we're gonna come up into what we call Bakasana. Squeeze the arms and the legs and lift your bottom. See if you can come up and fly. Maybe. And the first time you try anything, it's not always pretty. Make sure you're looking forward. You can't look at your feet. If you look at your feet, you could plant right down on your head. So you want to be careful to look forward. That's it. I see some of you playing. Enjoy that for maybe one more breath, and then come back into your squat. Nice work. Let's all stay here. For those of you that have been squatting a long time, just give me a little more push with the elbows and extend your arms out. Touch the floor. As your fingers touch down, lift your chest a little higher. Don't forget to lift your bottom. Yeah. That's it. Making space. Hands are going to come together. We're going to turn our toes a little bit forward and then find ourselves in a forward fold. Straighten your legs, let your head down. Very good. Inhale, look up. Walk the hands forward, plank pose. Take a nice deep breath here, and then exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale into cobra, and exhale back into downward facing dog. All right. How are you feeling? You guys okay? All right, return to tabletop pose. So we're going to try something here. We're going to keep the right knee and the right hand on the floor, but I want you to turn onto that right side so you can lift your left leg behind you and your left arm up to the sky. So roll onto your side, lift the left arm up. And there's that same action happening in the bottom leg. We're trying to keep the leg bone turned out, and we're trying to tuck that right sit bone under just a little bit. That's it. Get serious about that left leg. It's not just floating there. It's on purpose. Now, turn your palm forward and reach your bicep over your ear. Looks simple, but not easy. That's it. Use your foot. Use that foot. Flex it. Find your inner power. Let's bring the arm up. And now, I want you to hinge at the left hip and bring that left leg in front of you and twist that right arm back behind you. See if you can keep it up in the air. Not easy. Again, simple but not easy. Breath is flowing free. Find the twist in your waist. Lift that left leg just a little higher. And then bring your leg back, bring your arm up, return to tabletop pose. So good. If you need a child's pose, take it. If you're feeling okay where you are, just laugh. Just have a good time. One more breath. Big inhale, release, exhale. And then we'll come into the other side. So you're going to roll to the left. Left hand stays under the shoulder, left knee under the hip. Lift that right arm up and turn and face the side. And it's that action of like maybe tucking a little bit with that left hip under you, feeling the external rotation of that bottom leg. Like that's what we've been working on. That's going to give you your stability. Turn the palm forward, reach the bicep over the ear. That's it. Don't be afraid to lift your leg a little bit. Managing so many little tiny tweaks. This is yoga, my friends. Bring the arm up. We're going to hinge at the hip and bring that leg in front now. That right leg goes forward, that right arm goes back, and your waistline is being challenged. So is your balance, so is your facial expression. I would choose a smile here. The situation is the same, so you get to choose your attitude. Go ahead, bring your leg back, bring the arm back up, and return to your tabletop pose. Feel free, if you need a child's pose, take it. It might feel really good to sit back and stretch through your glutes. So go ahead, take one breath in child's pose, sit back. All right, we've got one more thing to do, and then we will cool it down. Take a breath, inhale right here, and then open mouth. Let's stretch our arms forward, return to down dog. Good. Right foot steps up. Stay on your left toes, come into your high crescent. Just like before, we're going to pivot the back foot flat and turn open to the left. Now I want you to find that action in the standing leg, the front leg. The knee turns out a little bit, and that is that your left? No, it's your right sit bone is going to come under. And I'm going to just challenge you to go deep for a second, not to hold it, but just to get down low so that you can stretch and reach all the way out through your right arm to the floor in front of your right foot. We're coming into half moon. So the right hand is going to go down. You're going to put weight on it and then lift your left leg up behind you. Remember the action. The bottom leg is turning out and the right sit bone is coming under. You have to be fierce in the leg that's in the air. You can't let it just float there. And then if you want to, you can stay right where you are, or you can bend your left elbow and support your head and neck and give yourself a little bit of cobra in your spine. Totally optional. Express what you wish. And then with some grace, the eyes go down, the hand goes down. I want you to bend your right knee and step back. Bend your right knee, step back with your left foot. Come back up to warrior two. Reset your body, take a breath. And then we're gonna flow it out. Go ahead, take your second to last vinyasa. Right, you're almost there. Step back and lower. Shine your heart forward, breathe in all that beautiful fresh air, and then exhale, take it back, down dog. All right, when you're ready, the left foot's gonna step. Step it up to the hands, you stay on your right toes, and then rise for that high crescent lunge. That's it, pivot the back foot flat, find warrior two, remember the actions. You guys know how to articulate this, we've been practicing. That's it. So we're going to find our way in just a little lower, and it's more so that you can get your hand to the floor, not that I'm trying to challenge your hip. So you're going to go low so that left hand can reach all the way forward and down. As you get some weight on it, lift up onto your back toes, and then see if you can bring your hand forward for me, Des. Hand, this one. Yeah, under the shoulder. There we go. Remember the action. Left sit bone tucks just a little bit. Hips stack, chest open. Be fierce with the back leg. Then bend your elbow. Put your hand behind your neck if it feels good, and give me a little bit of cobra in your spine. That is a challenging, complex pose right there. When you're ready, we're going to take the arm up and come out with some grace. Soften your left knee, step back with your right foot. Rise up into warrior two. Reset your body, take a breath, and here it is, your last vinyasa. Go ahead, flow it out. Put a smile on your face. Make sure you're moving with your breath. Return to downward facing dog for the very last time this morning. Big inhale. How about a little woo? Yeah, nicely done. We're going to come into a seated position. So you find your way to seated. Your most comfortable seated position. Did you bring me this? Thank you so much. I got a present. Thank you so much. All right, so we're sitting. Yoga inspires love right there, you know? So I want you to find your seated position, the one that feels really comfortable, right? You feel both sit bones on the ground, and actually, after all that external rotation, you might find that sitting feels a little better in your hips, right? You can even feel how the sit bone's drawing under and the legs turning out. Might even happen with a little bit of ease. And then you're going to close your eyes and you're just going to feel for a moment. You're just going to feel for a moment. That might be the best direction that I gave you the whole morning. What a pleasure it is not to do this and not do that. Not to follow instructions. Let go of all the things you have to do and give yourself a moment just to feel. Can you let down a little bit? Let gravity have you. What does it feel like to let go of the action and just to be? Feel the cool breeze on your skin. Breathe it in. This moment, it is purely yours. What will you do with it? Let's bring our hands together at the heart. Sit up just a little taller. Bring your full awareness to your body and your breath. Be as alive and awake and present in this moment as you can be. Open your ears. Take in all the sounds around you. Even when we find stillness in ourselves, the world continues to move around us. And we are a part of it. Know that every car that drives by, they stop and look. Some of them think we're crazy. Some of them think, oh, I wish I was sitting right there. That looks so good. And I believe that there are actually some people that just drive by and don't even see it. And the truth is, it doesn't matter. What really matters is you right now. Your presence. Go ahead and start to open your eyes. Start to release your posture and lay yourself down onto the mat. Try to stay calm, try to stay soft. Try to remain receptive. Continue to let down. I want you to bend your knees and put the soles of your feet together. Let those legs drop open. Take your arms way up over your head. Let them rest on the ground. It's just water. If the back of your hand gets a little bit wet, you can dry it. And the way you position your feet makes a huge difference on how your hips feel. And so for some of you, it might feel better to bring the heels a little closer to your sit bones. And for some of you, it might feel better to move your feet a little further away. So don't be afraid to be curious. The angle of your feet affects the angle of the way the head of the femur sits in the hip socket. And so don't just lay there and suffer. Find the right place. There's no action right now, just gravity. Tune your attention to your breath. Take one more inhale, like it's good to be alive. And then let it out with a nice easy ah. Bring your hands down, place them onto your belly or your chest. And then slowly bring your knees up to center. Let's move the knees in toward center and wiggle the feet out wide to the edges of the mat. Shift your heels a little wider than your toes. And just notice the contrast, the way that leg bone sits. Your knees are bent, your feet are flat. Feet are wide and knees drop in toward each other. Yeah. And there's not much to do there, but feel. Feel yourself breathing. Feel the tension leaving your body. Allow your eyes to soften and your head to be heavy. And then we're going to peel our hands right off the body and just stretch your arms out like a T. Just reach out nice and wide from the chest. Feel that heart space open. And then bring your feet to the center of the mat and lift your knees up toward your chest. With your belly close to your spine, pulled in nice and strong, go ahead and roll your knees over to the right and turn your head to the left. Wringing out that last bit of tension. If your pants get wet or your foot gets wet, just know that it's only water. Think how different life could be if we learned to dance in the rain instead of run from it. So it's okay to let down. Yeah. And to just feel yourself breathing. And then again, just like you did on the way in, you have to pull the belly to the spine and get a little bit of support. You can push down into your arms. And then bring those knees all the way up and over to the left as you turn your head to the right. So a little mindfulness in the transition, and then a little release. Let down. Try to hold nothing here. Soften your eyes. Let's bring our heads to center and our knees to center. Give yourself one good last squeeze. And then release your arms and your legs all the way out and down for your final resting pose. For some of us, Shavasana is the hardest pose. We're actually asked to let go of the body. And for those of us that were raised in our culture, in America, we're completely body obsessed. And so to let go of any attachments that you have to your body is not easy. Could you just let yourself rest? Just let yourself feel. Let go of thinking about any of it. Just breathe. And after years of practice, there may even come a time when you can let go of the breath. Trust that it will happen. And either way, you're at ease about it. Imagine the sweetness of being able to let go of the body and to let go of the thoughts and to just be in the essence of you. The essence of who you are without any of that other stuff. That is the gift of this pose. As you notice your next inhale, go ahead and use it to start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Let the breath awaken the body. And then just embrace a little bit of movement and stretch. Start to bring yourself back to seated. So as you sit up, you guys look pretty happy. You look happy when you get here too, but there's a different kind of look. Halfway between, like you just finished a great run and a nap, right? And that's a pretty magical place to be. Invigorated, but relaxed. To me, that is yoga. It's finding the unity between the dualities. It's the two opposite ends of the spectrum, and somehow they unite within us, and we get to feel like this. Our yoga somehow works magic in our lives. I thank you so much for showing up each week, especially on a day like today when the weather was so uncertain, and look at it now. I think somebody up there watches over us. So the next time you wake up in a rainy morning, come anyway, you know? If for those of you that are listening, I know a lot of you stayed home and you did it in your own house. And so the sun is shining bright and beautiful. There's a cool breeze. I don't even think it's humid anymore. It's crazy. There are gifts everywhere. Yoga helps us to be awake and alert enough to notice. Let's close our practice with the sound of Om. So together, hands at the heart and a nice deep breath, and then we'll make this beautiful sound together. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Namaste, namaste to everybody. Thank you so much. Couple of really fun things going on. I would love to invite you, Joey and I, Joey right here, Januzzi in the front. We are hosting tomorrow. Yoga Journey and the Farmer's Table are hosting the Yoga Journey Kula in the Farmer's Table. So we've rented the ballroom for a nice big practice. It's a community gathering. We have DJ Sal coming in to mix the music live for us while we play. So it's an all levels practice just like this in the ballroom at the hotel. And then we all go downstairs into the private dining room. Yeah, aw. Thank you for all of my beautiful presents, and I will post them to your Facebook page. I will take pictures and share the rocks. Is that good? Okay. So we're going to do yoga to live DJ music tomorrow, and then we're going to go downstairs and have a really beautiful, hearty, healthy, amazing brunch together. I think something is really important. In community, we need to do more than just come together and do yoga and then roll our mats up and walk away. And so the Kula was designed for us to be able to take our relationship maybe a step further, to actually sit together, break bread, maybe ask the person that you see every week 2 mats down what their name is. Right? So come together, be in community, share in really beautiful farm-to-table food. It's a really, really fun practice with the live DJ mixing right then and there. So 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, then around 11:30 we go downstairs to eat. So we spend the morning together on a Sunday. You can register at yogajourney.com under events, or you can just come and do it at the door. Okay? So I hope to see you all tomorrow. I have for yoga teachers, I have information on the Costa Rica trip. I was actually almost full. I just added 4 more rooms. So if anyone's interested in coming, yoga teachers, it's a training and retreat in one. So that's December 8th to the 15th. I have magnets for your car. I have passes with me today. And we have schedule changes happening this week. So make sure that you give me your email so that you are on the email list, and I will make sure that you see the schedule changes. We're adding some new classes for the fall season. So if anyone's interested in seeing what we're doing, check Yoga Journey online or give me your email and I will send you the new schedule changes. So have a happy Saturday. Enjoy the weather. Love you guys. Checking out.